Hey everyone, कैसे आप लोग? Your brother is back with another video, and friends, in this video we'll be learning how to write test cases in React. And friends, I am also in my learning phase, so अगर कुछ गलती हो जाए तो माफ़ कर देना. Okay, so friends, this is how our console looks when we run this command npm test or when we run the code coverage. Okay, so friends, without any further delay, let's jump into coding. So friends, the code that is visible to you is nothing a simple boilerplate of React in which I have simply run a command npx create react app and the name of our app. Okay, I have just made few changes, like I have replaced the href tag with button tag, and I have added a state, and I am changing that state on button click, and I am simply toggling its visibility. Okay, cool till now. Another thing that I have done is I have simply called an API on useEffect. Okay, this is a simple JSON placeholder API, and just for fun I have given it a name of login service. Okay, so friends, where we can do our coding for testing. Okay, so you have to create a file with the convention of .test.js, and the name in the beginning can be anything. Okay, so friends, the command is npm test, but it will fail right now because we do not have any test right now. So let's try writing our first test. So you can simply use this test command, and inside this you can simply pass a name, any name of your choice, like of your choice means like that will be relevant to your functionality. Okay, it takes a callback, and then you can write your assertion over here, like 1 plus 1. Okay, and you can say that it will be 2. Cool, then it will check it. Yeah, it ran your code, and it provided you the result that yes, it has tested this particular test case and it has passed. Okay, now let's try changing it to 3. Okay, cool. So it has given us the stack trace, like the expected value, the received value and the expected value didn't match. The expected value was 3 and the received value that this code gave us was 2. So it failed over here. Okay, so it was the simple test that I wanted to show you. Let's try writing another test. Okay, so I have also run this code. Let's first check this. Okay, so friend, this is a simple boilerplate. I have changed nothing. I have simply changed this particular thing. Okay, I have created a button. Now let's see if I want to check if this particular element is present on my screen or not. I am basically checking a UI check. Okay, so how we can do that? So friends, in order to do that, we will be requiring to render this app on our JS DOM also. Okay, so one more thing that I want to tell you is Jest uses. Okay, so we are actually writing these test cases using Jest. Okay, and React testing library. So we do not need to install React testing library. Actually, it is already installed for us, like this package testing library Jest DOM, testing library React, and testing library user event. Okay, cool. Okay, so now let's proceed. So friends, in order to render it, we need to import few things, okay, from React testing library. Let's see what are those. Okay, so friends, I have simply imported render and screen from testing library React. Okay, cool. Now what we can do, okay, so apart from test, we have one more thing, that is it. Using it also you can do the same thing. So friends, this was your test case. Okay, one test case. Now if you want to define your test suite, how you can do that? Test suite, basically test suite will comprise of many test cases. Okay, like describe. Okay, so using this describe you can define your test cases. Okay, so over here we can say that test app JS. Okay, cool. And over here just give that function, and inside this test suite we will have different test cases. Let's see. First we will check. Okay, so over here let's try with it. Okay, it renders, it should render learn React button. Cool. And give it a callback also function. Okay, now friends, you will ask me what is the difference between test and it, where should we use it? Okay, so friends, if I tell you that how I do, basically how I distinguish between both of them and where do I use it, then I simply, like over here where I have to write a statement like checksum. Okay, there I simply do test. and where I have to write where I have to test some kind of like functionality in which I am saying that it should do this, it should perform this task, it should result to, okay, and over here I am saying that it should render learn react button, so it completes my sentence. Okay, so over here it completes my sentence, so over here I am using it. Okay, cool. So yeah, so now what we have to do, we need to fetch this element in our over here. Okay, so how we are going to do that? So friends, using render, you can simply use app over here. Okay, we need to import it also. Okay, so friends, we have simply rendered app over here, and now what we can do, we can simply get that button element using screen. Okay, so now in order to get that button element, we need to use this screen, and we are going to get it by get by text. Okay, and friends, what is the text? Learn react. Okay, so friends, we have written it screen dot get by text, and over here what we can do, we can simply write learn react, and to ignore case sensitivity we will simply write I over here. Okay, so it will get us that button element, and now we need to write one more assertion, and that is expect button element, okay, to be, friends, we have a list of all these functions, you can go through it, to be in the document. Okay, so what we are doing over here, we have simply written an assertion in which we are checking that our button element learn react should be in the document. Okay, and as you can see, and friends, as you can see, our two test cases have passed successfully. Okay, okay, so friends, this was a simple functionality to check if we have this button present in our UI or not. Okay, now what we can do, so friends, now I want to show you something. Okay, you would be thinking like how we can get this easily, screen dot get by text. Okay, so there are several other methods also. You can get it by data ID, test ID, okay, by placeholder, by role. Let me show you how we can use one extension that makes it more easier for us. So friend, the name of that extension is testing playground. Okay, when you install it, it will be available to you in the particular tab. Okay, testing playground, and you can simply inspect it using this. Okay, sorry, I have clicked it. What you need to do is simply need to inspect it. Okay, okay, cool. And as you can see, it gave us the information that we can access it using screen dot get by role, and the role is button, and the name is learn react. Okay, so let's try using this also. It is very useful extension, guys, believe me. Okay, so what I'm going to do, let's do this, and over here let's create it again, button element, and let's paste it. Okay, cool. Okay, and as you can see, our test case are still passing, so we can use get by text, get by role also. Now friends, this was a simple UI check. Now let me show you how can you check the user event. Okay, like if you want to check some user functionality, like on clicking learn react, you want to check if this particular button click was displayed on the UI or not. So how we can check that? Let's see. So friends, let's write another test case in this test suite that will be of check button functionality. Cool. Okay, so again, in order to check the button functionality, we will be requiring to render the app. Simple process number one. Okay, okay, after that we need to repeat this same step once more, because we need to get that button element also. Okay, so we have that button element, and after this button element, what we need to do, we simply need to fire the click event basically. Okay, so friends, in order to fire that click event, what we need to do, we need to simple import user event basically. This is how we can import user event from testing library user event, and over here, yes, now we got this button click. Now what we can do, simply we can simply make use of that user event. Okay, and we can do that user event dot click, and the element that we have to click. Okay, button element. Okay, so now what we have done, we have simply mimicked the user steps. We simply got that button element. Then using this, we are clicking on it, and now we are going to pass an assertion. Like we can do expect. Okay, now one more thing. Now we need to check if this button click is present or not. Okay, so we are going to take help from this testing playground, and it will provide us this. Okay, and we got this. Okay, so we can simply pass it inside this expect. Okay, expect this particular heading, get by role heading, and the button clicked to be in the document. Okay, cool. So as you can see, we have passed all 3 test cases. Friends, one more thing that you can check if you want to, like, let's fail this test case. Okay, so right now as we can see, uh, this on clicking it, we get this button clicked. Okay, so in order to fail it, let me see, it is giving us error. Okay, so friends, one more thing, in this screen we have several other things also available, like we have get by role, we also have query by role also. Okay, so there is not much difference, but there are like few checkpoints that it supports, it doesn't support, or there are some return types that varies. Okay, so I will drop that documentation also in the description box. So it is saying that when you are doing the not check, like if you are checking if the element is not present, use query by. Okay, so what you can do, you can simply like replace it by with query by. Okay, yeah, it is going to fail. It is going to fail because the expected and received differs over here. It is saying that expected document not to contain the element, but they have found it button clicked instead. Okay, okay, so that is the difference. So let's correct it. Cool. So friends, we have successfully run 3 test cases, and we have also seen the testing playground. Let's use one more user event. Okay, in this we will be typing, basically we will check the type event. Once more we need to render the app. So friends, in this I am not going to render the app because I have not made that functionality over here. Okay, I have not made any input box over here. So what we can do, we can simply render a text area, a simple text area over here. And what we can do, we can simply do user event dot type. So friends, now what we can do, we can simply, okay, so we have rendered a text box over here, and now what we can do, we can get it screen dot get by role. Okay, let's pass it a role of text box. Okay, and now we have to let's type in something. Let's type hello world. Okay, cool. And now what we can do is expect. So friends, it's a simple. Now again what we can do, expect screen dot get by role text box. Okay, dot to have value of hello world. Okay, so friend, our test case failed. I have done it intentionally, because let's see, here it is saying the expected is hello world and the received is hello world. Okay, so make it correct. Yeah, and friends, we have passed 4 test cases successfully. Okay, so we have done nothing, we have simply rendered this text box, and then we have first performed the user event, that we have written something hello world, and then we have simply checked if that particular text box have this content or not, hello world. Okay, cool. So friends, one more thing that I want to show you over here is, you would have noticed that we are writing this render app again and again. So despite doing this, what we can do, we can use this function that is before each. Okay, and inside this we can simply perform this particular piece of code. Okay, okay, cool. It is giving some error. Okay, so let's disable it. it's a ESLint error. Okay, so before each, okay, so what it will do, it will simply perform this piece of code before our test cases. Okay, so we do not need to write it every time. Okay, so it will take care. Okay, but over here we need to write it because we are rendering a text area and not a render app. Okay, so cool. Let's see if all of these test cases are passed. Okay, so basically any functionality that you want to perform, or like you want to render your code like app component for all of these test cases. So despite writing them again and again, you can simply do that piece of coding before each. Okay, cool. So friends, till now I guess the concepts are clear. Okay, so let's see what we can learn next. Okay, so friends, the next concept that I'm going to show you, as I've told you that we have created this login service. Okay, so if you want to check your API also, so how you are going to check your API whether it has called this particular time or not. Okay, so in order to do that, we can mock this implementation. Okay, so yes, we are going to learn how to spy this particular implementation and how to mock it. Okay, cool. So how we are going to do that? So for that, let's first import it over here. And friends, if you are liking the content that I'm sharing it with you, so please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Okay, so friends, we have simply imported login service. So friends, over here we are going to create a spy. Okay, let's give it a login spy. Okay, basically we are spying on, we are tracking that login click. I mean to say, whenever that API is actually the call is made to that API. Okay, so how we can do that? We can simply use jest.spy on, and inside this simply pass your login service. Okay, and the function that you want to track. So the function that we want to track is fetch login status. Okay, cool. So friends, using this you can create a spy in Jest. Okay, and now what you can do, you can simply give it a mock implementation like login spy dot mock implementation. Mock implementation you can give any of your choice, like I will be simply using jest dot function, dummy function kind of. So friends, if you want to like give a mock implementation, like if you're over here I use simply a get request. Okay, so if you are using some post request, so for that you can create some custom function like that will return a promise. Okay, like simple callback kind of. Okay, that will return a promise. Okay, and inside that simply resolve whatever data you want to resolve. Okay, and using that you can simply test your code. So we have we have used spy-on over here, and then over here we are providing a mock implementation for our spy. Okay, and now what we can do, let's do it over here only. Let's test. Okay, so we are checking if check if login service is called. Okay, so how we are going to check it? So in order to check it, what you can do, you can simply write expect. Okay, expect login spy dot to have been to have been called. Yeah, to have been called. Okay, so friends, what you can do, you can simply check that your particular login service is getting called or not. Okay, in your app.js. So it, again we have passed the test case. So friends, what you can do, what approach you should follow in order to write test cases. Okay, so friends, you can write a negative test case for a functionality and a positive test case also for a functionality. So a negative test case, like you can check whether on doing this, if that particular test cases break or not. Okay, so you should be writing two test cases, a test case in which that particular thing is rendering and a test case in which that particular thing is not rendering. Okay, so one more thing. Okay, let's check the not case also. Okay, so it breaks our code. Why it breaks our code? Because expected number of calls that we have given it 0, but the received number of call is 1. Okay, so it says that yes, it has been called in the code base, so we have to remove this not. One more thing that you can do over here is have use another function that is times, and you can specify it like let's suppose you want to check the number of API calls. Okay, what is the number of times your single API is getting called. I am doing it 2, that I think it must have been called for 2 times. Okay, but it is showing us that no, it has been called only for 1 time. Okay, so give it 1 and your assertion will pass. Okay, cool. Okay, cool friends. So what else? Till now I hope the concepts are clear to you all. Okay, we have made a basic test, we have learned about SPY and mock implementation, we have learned about user events, how you can check your UI. Okay, now let's see what to learn next. Okay, so friends, apart from the code, I want to show you few things, okay, that will help you. First, let me make one more file, demo.test.js. Okay, and inside this, let's simply write one test case. Okay, so friends, as you can see over here, we have 2 files, demo and app.test.js. Okay, so what I want to show you over here, it is saying watch uses, press W to show more. If you do not want, like you have right now 2 files and you want to watch only one file, what you can do, you can press W. Okay, it shows you all of these options. Okay, like press A to run all test cases, F to run only failed tests. So what we can do, we can use P to filter out. Press P. Okay, and now simply write the name of your file. Okay, it will filter it out for you. Hit enter, and now it will only run the test case for app.test.js. Okay, cool. So right now it is running in watch mode. Okay, so let's suppose you do not want it to run in watch mode. Friends, what you can do, inside this over here, simply do this watch all equals false. Cool. So now let's try running it once more. Okay, so friends, now try hitting anything, any enter or any changes in here, it will not be reflected, but because it is not running in watch mode. Simple. If you want to stop running in watch mode, you can simply use this watch all false. Okay, another thing friends that I want to show you is how you can print the coverage, how you can see the coverage of your code. Code coverage is nothing but like what amount of your code has been tested. Okay, or should I say the in simple language, if I want to say it, so the test cases, like the number of lines your test cases has covered, is your code coverage. Okay, so to do that also, we can do is, so friends, you can simply write this test coverage over here, and inside this simply pass this coverage. Okay, so friends, now what we are going to do is run this command npm run test coverage. Okay, hit enter. Okay, cool. So friends, as you can see, okay, forget this, this is your code coverage. Let me run it one more time. Okay, so friends, it tells us the number of lines that your test cases has tested, okay, or covered. So we have tested app.js so far, and it tells us that we have covered all the lines. Okay, 100% code coverage for app.js. Okay, but if I want to say that how much code coverage is of my total app, then it is not 100%, because as you can see, if we are comparing the entire React testing app, then only it is 26%. Okay, over here it is 37%, 33% and 26%. Okay, so using this, basically this is very useful in while you are implementing CI/CD, because over there you can apply some rules that if your code is having 75% code test coverage, then only you will be making the build. So all these things will help you over there. Okay, cool. So friends, let's revise once more what we have learned in this video. Okay, so we have simply seen that how to create a test case, using this test command and using the it command. Okay, cool. We have read the difference between test and it. Okay, and to write a test you simply need to pass its name and a function and an assertion. Okay, that will be truthy or falsy. Okay, you how to okay, so how you can mock any function and how you can like track your API call also. So you can simply spy that particular API call when it will be triggered in your code base, and you can create a mock implementation of it, and you can simply check if it has been called, and you can also check the number of times it has been called. Okay, we have also talked about this before each, that any piece of code that you want to do before every test case, you can simply write it down over here. It will increase your usability. Okay, and describe, if you want to like write your all the test cases within a single block, you can use describe. Okay, basically it describes that all the test cases are related to this test app, basically testing app component. Okay, a simple UI check, that using this screen dot get by role we can get that particular element, and we can again provide this assertion to check if it is in the DOM or not. Okay, one more thing, this screen and render we get from testing library React. Okay, now after that we have checked for user event also, using this user event from user event library, in which we have performed this click operation, and over here we have performed this type operation, and then we have simply checked the after results whether they are happening or not. Okay, cool. Then we have simply checked few of these commands, that watch all false in watch mode and coverage to tell us the coverage of the entire code base. Okay. Okay, so friends, I guess this is it for this particular video, and I hope you have liked the content that I have shared with you, and if yes, then please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.